Hello, today we're going to be talking about Century Spice Road. This is an excellent game that I've had for some time and I really enjoy it. It's a pretty simple game. We are pretending that we are spice traders in a caravan on the Spice Road. So let's go ahead and get this set up. I've got all of the items in here. These are some coins. These are the silver ones. There's gold ones. You'll notice that this is quite a nice insert, but I do like to use these bits bins containers, and I have moved all of the resources over to them. And if you are not familiar with bits bins, I highly recommend them. All right. First things first, we got to get these separated out into the 4 different colors in the 4 different containers. These represent our various spices. Down on this end we have turmeric, saffron, cardamom, and eventually this will be cinnamon. All right, let me get the green ones out of here. All right, there's those. Open this up. As mentioned, here's our gold coins. And we'll put them over here. Okay, now these spices go in order, and that we'll explain that in a minute here. But it's good to line them up yellow or turmeric to red or saffron to green or cardamom to brown or cinnamon. Also in the game, I'm going to pretend we've got 3 players. So we have these starting cards. Then we have these, which are the caravan cards. These, which are the points, and these, which are the deck building. All right, we'll come back to all that in a minute, but for now, what we need is our caravan cards. Every player is going to get one of these, and so there is a trick here. In this corner, one of them has this symbol. So we need that card and 2 more cards. The others are going to go away. We're going to mix these up. Everybody's going to select one. I chose this one. So this will be our first player, and we go around in order. Now, you might notice that there are these rather faint little symbols. Those are your storage capacity. So there are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, meaning at most you can only ever have 10 of these blocks and where you can store your spices. If you receive more, then you have to get rid of something. But you get to select which you keep and which you don't. And there we go. So now we know first player is always going to be this one with the symbol, so just make sure that when you're randomly selecting, this is included, or randomly select in some other way and just give this one to the first player. Now, everybody is going to receive, there's only 2 kinds of cards here, And so everybody receives one of each. There's a starting hand of cards, starting hand of cards, starting hand of cards. We won't need the rest of these. And then we use all of these. So I'll just give these a quick randomization. Put this one over here and we pull out 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now the silver coins, we take 2 for each player count, and the rest will be returned. Same thing here, 2 for each player count, and the rest will be returned. I have played it where we play with less than 5 people and all the coins. I think it doesn't make that big a difference. It will score a little bit higher, but I don't think that changes the nature of the game at all. But that is the rules setup, is 2 coins per player. Now, gold goes here at the end. Silver goes next to it. If you take this card, you also get a coin. This gold is worth 3 points. This card is 17 points. You've now got 20 points. This is 14, plus the silver for 1 point, so 15. And once those coins are gone, they're gone. Once the gold are gone, the silver will move up to this position for the rest of the game. And this is one of those games where when a card is taken out, everything shifts to that end and a new card comes out. So that's the setup of our points cards. As you can guess, we are attempting to collect these resources shown here, then we pay the resources back into the supply, and we acquire the card, and at the end of the game we have the points. So in our game, we would be playing until the first player who has 5 cards, and that ends the game. You finish the round. So again, you know who the first player is. If they finish it, everybody else gets a turn. If the last person finishes it, end of round, nobody else gets any more turns. All right, now we've got these cards, which are the deck building cards. So let's go through these really quickly. There are 3 types of cards in the game, and you will find all 3 of these in this deck. So these are spice cards. You play this card down and you just get those spices, right? They come from the supply, they go to you, and that's that. This is an upgrade card. When you play it, you get to upgrade the number of cubes here each 1 time. That means you can take, so if you had 2 yellows, you could return 1 yellow to upgrade to red, and return another yellow to upgrade to red, or you can take one of your yellows and return it to upgrade to red, and the red to upgrade to green. So you have 2 upgrades. Basically what it means is you can take any one thing and move it up 1. You can take that thing you just received and move it up again, or you can take something new and move it up. But again, on the upgrades, it comes from what resources you've already collected. So, again, these ones go here and we pull out 6. This card is free. If you take it, which is one of the things you can do on your turn, you get this card for free. If you do not have, if you don't want this card but you want something else, each card you pass up on the way to the card that you want, you have to put down a cube. So for example, if I really wanted this, I could do that, but I'd have to do this. Generally speaking, these yellow are, fairly inexpensive resources. People use those up. Once you start going to other colors, it's getting fairly expensive. So think about it. But you can take any card you want as long as you can put out resources for it. This one's always free. If you take a card that already has some resources on it, then you get to keep those resources. Okay, so let's talk about how we actually play the game then. Everybody has their starting hand of 2. One last thing in the setup. Right here on the scorecard are the rules, my mistake. You're going to get some cubes and you're going to put them, so we've got three players. First player is going to get 3 yellow cubes. Second player is going to get 4 yellow cubes. And the third player is also going to get 4 yellow cubes. So, the first player has to decide, do they want to use their cubes for something? Do they want to play cards they already have? Do they want to acquire new cards? Can they buy something up there? So those are the options that you have in taking a turn. If you need that reminder, you'll find that right here. Play a card from your hand, acquire a card from the merchant cards, rest, where you take all the cards you've played and bring them back to your hand because eventually you're going to be out of cards, or claim a points card. It's pretty straightforward. So let's see how we want to go. Let's say that the first player is ambitious, wants to get more resources, so they take this card and it goes to their hand. These cards slide down, new card comes out. Now I have to decide, do I want to acquire more resources? Do I want to acquire a card? I have quite a bit of yellow already. This is pretty good trading card. I get to upgrade 3 cubes basically. It has a cube on it. I think I'm going to acquire that one. Play it to my hand. I get this resource. Everything slides down and a new card comes out. Now over here, third player has 4 cubes, notices they need not too much over there, and so they feel like they're going to start heading in that direction by playing their upgrade card and taking 1 yellow and upgrading it twice to that green. And so now they're heading in the direction of that card. The rest of us can see this happening. Maybe we realize it, maybe we don't, but we do have the option to look and probably should. Back over to here, and first player decides they just want to keep working on their hand, so they're going to go ahead and acquire this one, starts them back up on resources, cards move down, new card comes out, back to me. I'm actually going to go ahead and make my trade, 3 yellow for 3 red. And now I'm considering, where am I headed to? Well, maybe for that one, maybe I keep upgrading and try to get one of those. We'll have to see how it plays out. Back over to this player, not a lot of options. So they feel like they would like to be able to acquire more resources. 4 resources with 1 card, that's really good. So they're going to take that one, everything slides down, flip this over, and there we go. Back over here, it's time to start acquiring some resources. 1 red, 2 yellow, and your caravan is yours. Organize it any way you want. Doesn't have to, there's no restrictions in any way. All right, back over to me. And I'm going to say to myself, where do I want to go? I really think that's a pretty good trading card. So I'm going to place one here, take this one, slide all of this down. New card flips over. The thing is, I'm now going to have to figure out how to get some green so that I can make that trade. Okay, back over to here. Well, we can get some resources and a pretty decent conversion card. So let's go ahead, make that play. Everything slides down. New card. You know what? Let's go ahead and acquire this one so that we can try to get to a green. And everything slides down. Flip this over. And back over to me where I'm going to upgrade 2 greens, 1 step each, or 2 reds, 1 step each to 2 greens. Back over here, we can take all 4 of these, and they now become 2 green. So we are all the way up to 3 green. That may or may not be helpful. Let's find out. Back over to here. So first off, 2 yellow become 1 green. Back over to me. I'm going to go ahead and do the 2 green, 2 brown. You'll notice I mostly go by color just to make it very clear so people don't have to remember what the names of each of these are. But I do actually remember turmeric and saffron and cardamom and cinnamon. Okay. And over here, let's go ahead and get our 4 back. And over here, we're going to change one of our yellow twice to have the 2 greens that we will then use with this card. And back to here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and play this one, but now I'm going to go through a few rounds silently so that I can speed this up later until we get to wherever the first person can start acquiring some of the points cards. So we'll see how that turns out. Okay, so this is where I'm going to start talking again because look, we have one brown, one green, one red, and one yellow. And our player over here thinks it's a good idea to go ahead and claim that card. So there, they have one card towards the 5 they need to end the game, and they have 12 points. And a new card comes out. And those are the choices moving forward. Let's take a look and see if anything happens in just the next couple of turns here. All right. Looking over here, like to get to some green, but keep our yellow. So that's going to work out because we can upgrade these two both to green. And we're now in a position to start scoring some points for our player over here. And same thing over here. We're going to be able to go from 2 red to 2 green, which also puts this player in contention to start scoring some points. And then back over here, are we interested in that one? Do we acquire the correct resources over here? Kind of do. That might be a good card. We'll go ahead and take that to the hand for this go around. Then we're going to come over here, and now we have a decision to make. If we take the 9 points as just 9 points, they can see that I'm thinking about this one, maybe even thinking about this one, which would move their lower scoring points that they can acquire right now up to where they could also get the coin to go with it, which can be beneficial, but maybe I'm going to do something else. They're going to take the risk and just start loading up on some resources. So they unfortunately only have space for 2 resources. So they are going to go ahead and acquire 2 more of the yellow. And they're hoping I go ahead and acquire something. And I'm looking at what I can do. Well, I can acquire more brown, but it's going to cost me the green. I can acquire 1 more brown if I had 2 reds. Oh my goodness, look, I do. Perfect. There's my thought process. So these are going to go in, and we're going to get the 1 brown, the 2 yellow. But as anyone who's looking can see, I am in a spot to get the 17 points plus the gold coin, and nobody else really is anywhere close to that. So we're going to see how this goes. Well, we can't really play that card, so it's time for this player to rest and pick up their cards. Back over to here. So they see what's coming. They're going to try to get that at least one extra point for their card. So they'd like to convert something, but it's going to be a little harder because they can't do 2 into 4 for multiple reasons. But this will allow them to convert 2 into just 1. So they don't run out of space for their resources. Moving over here, yes, in fact, we're going to turn in the oh, I've got this backwards. Well, we're still going to turn in this, and it is acquire this card for myself. These 2 go over here and over there. I get the silver coin to go with it. Everything slides up. New card comes out. Over here, we are going to go ahead and turn in 4 for 2. Back around over here where we will in fact the 3 yellow and the 2 green acquire this one and 1 point, slide everything up, flip this card over. And that's how you play Century Spice Road. And basically you keep going, building out your deck to where you feel like you can manipulate and get the resources necessary to acquire these cards, acquire up to 5 cards. And then at the end, when the 5th card has been acquired by somebody, complete the round. And once the round is finished and we're back to the first player, then you just count up your points. Your points come from coins, 1 and 3, whatever points are printed on these cards that you have acquired through the game. And if you look over here at the game end, you will see that. At this point, each player counts all the points, his gold or silver, and the remaining cubes. So we talked about the gold and the silver, we talked about the points cards, and then each non-yellow cube is worth 1 point. 1 point, 3 points, 2 points. And that's how you get your final score in the game of Caravan. Century Spice Road, where you're on a caravan. All right, so I hope you enjoy it. I really like this game, one of my favorites.